I'm going to go ahead and drop in the chat um, our accessible PDF of tonight's presentation, which is necessary for our participants that use screen readers, but it's also good for all. If you would like to open that and kind of see what we will be covering tonight, just to kind of orient you into our design. But we are so excited that you're here this evening. We are the New Mexico Universal Design for Learning coaches that have been working tirelessly across the state to bring joy back into education. I think together, I don't know, Janae is our fearless leader. Janae, how many years of experience do we have collectively?
I think we're knocking on the door of 200 years collectively. So
Okay, so
pretty good.
200 years. We're 8 coaches. We have all kinds of experience in the field of education. Some of us have experience in assistive technology as ATPs. We have a colleague who is an occupational therapist. We have educators, administrators, counselors. Our friend Selena is working on her master's degree in educational technology. And the list goes on and on. We have experience in elementary education as well as secondary education, but we really just have this common goal, and that is to remove barriers in teaching and learning so students can really find the joy in learning. And we are excited to share some insight into AI this evening. So thanks again for being here.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. And please bear with me. I am using new Zoom controls this evening, and I feel like I'm flying a plane. We kind of ran through some things, but I struggled a bit, so I may continue to struggle. But please, there's just a few of us this evening, so if you want to use the chat, we'll be manning the chat. You can unmute, and we can just make this a true cafe style. So we're super excited.
Yes, and Jen, since there's so few of us, which thanks for saying that, could you let us know your name so that we could say, what do you think, Julie, which I'm thinking that's your name, and Gina, but I don't know who Zoom 10TR is, or Kay Regnier. But if Gina, let's see, am I saying your name right?
I think you're good.
Maybe. Okay. But who is my Zoom 10TR? Sorry.
That's our Nicole from Magic
It's
School at
me.
Nine.
I led a Zoom training last night and
Nicole.
logged into their account and didn't realize it was still logged in. So I don't want to rename it because it's somebody's school account, but I'll try to, I might just stay in it, but I'm Nicole from Magic School.
That's okay.
I also
Nicole,
am a previous special education teacher for like 15 years. And love the exceptional learning accessibility space. That's why I was extra excited to come to your training. So thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks. And then the K.
Here. K is Kathy.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. All right. Sorry, Jen, go ahead.
No worries. Okay, so discover, experience, and share AI in the classroom with NMUDL. And of course, we've already signed in, but if you missed that sign in, it's in the chat. All right, so to entice you into our cafe this evening, we put out this advertisement, and we just wanted to play it again quickly.
Okay, sum it up 10 Wizard has. Wow. Wow. No, these are good. You know, wow is mom upside down. Bet you can't taste the difference. That I can.
Take the WOW challenge yourself. Bet you can't taste the difference, or it's free.
What? Wow.
All right. So with any product, you hopefully you found some humor in that. We did find out later that they discontinued the product due to unwanted bodily functions in consumers. So we thought that was kind of not so funny, but it just aligned to our message tonight. You know, you may be super excited about AI, ready to try it, but then you may be kind of hesitant. So we've designed our cafe tonight along the lines of being a consumer, right? We pick up a product, right? We read the label with caution. We kind of try the product, and then if we like it, we spread the word. So we're hoping that you find some things that you like tonight and spread the word.
Yes. And with AI, we have to remember there's always those wow factor portion of it, and then the kind of investigate more and beware factor of it. So we got to balance those two sides.
Yes, and we had a poll, but since there's so few of us, if we could just maybe unmute and share out or put in the chat where you are. In our blurb for tonight's presentation, we had we hope that you move from WTH, what the heck, to wild about wandering into AI. So which are you?
My name is Julia Dominguez. I am in Roswell, New Mexico, and I've been teaching 17 years. I am the UDL site mentor for our new teachers, and I finished my admin 2 years ago and decided I wasn't done. So I'm doing my doctorate degree right now, and I'm about halfway through my dissertation phase, and my dissertation is on the UDL with an emphasis in psychology and special education. So that's why I'm here. I'm really excited. I like to see some people from Magic School and other AI tools. The more we can learn to shop and use what works for kids is great for me.
That's all. And Julie, have you used AI a lot?
I do. I use AI myself. I encourage my students to use AI, and I teach first graders. They do not get to use it as much. However, they love like CK12's Flexi, anything that they can ask questions, any
Yes.
questions they can wonder and learn about. So, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
You got a lot of wilds in the chat. So
All right, awesome. Thank you. We're so excited the wilds are here and the what the hex. Thank you so much for sharing some of those AI resources that you've already used with your students. So when you think of AI, what are some of those educational resources that you have found? What are some of the products that come to your mind? If we could just start sharing those out.
I'm going to go open another tab and share AI tools repository to your chat if that's okay.
Yes, that would be
I have a
great.
huge list.
Yay. Thank you for that. And that's what our team does. We know that our educators across the state of New Mexico are super busy, and sometimes they don't have the time to kind of do the research and explore what's out there. So that's what we do as a team. We curate resources along the lines of universal design for learning, and we're super excited about AI because of the adaptability piece for our students. So if one of the team members can just drop in our chat, our curated list of resources just for UDL in general, that would be awesome. And so I see lots of ideas coming through: AI Educator, Magic School, of course, CuriePod. Yes, so lots and lots of resources, which can be overwhelming. Cami, did you want to?
Which leads us right into this next slide. I know a month ago, I get emails from Ditch That Textbook, and he curates some of the resources that are out there and categorizes them. Last month, he had sent one. Here's the 10 top educational AI resources suggested by them. And then this month, there's 30. We just jumped from like 10 to 30 in a month, and it's crazy. And I don't even have time to explore all of them in a month. I think I looked through 3 of those on the 30. So I can imagine how teachers feel. And then there's even more than those 30 out there. And he's bringing the ones that are primarily for education, which is very interesting to me because I know that that AI is one of the fastest growing industries right now. It's $1 billion industry. On that next slide, Jen found some amazing research and statistics for that. And in 2021, almost 20% of computer science PhD students specialized in AI. I didn't really get into this until a year ago. And so this is like 3 years ago. And then American K through 12 interest in AI computer science education has grown. And in 2022, the US government spent almost $3.5 billion on AI related contracts. And that's not even the education part and where that's going. And as we've been going into schools, I hear a lot of, I'm not sure about AI. AI scares me. I don't want to dabble in it until I know more, but I don't have time to know more. And so then those students, these are at high schools, so the students are graduating without knowing anything about it either. And that is kind of concerning in light of research and information like this. And then I think Jennifer did some more research that she's going to show us on the next slide. This one's from the AI index report from Stanford University that tracks and measures the AI trends in industries.
Awesome. And then in our research, we also found a document that was released in May of 2023 from the Office of Educational Technology titled Artificial Intelligence and the Future of Teaching and Learning, Insights and Recommendations. So after many thoughtful collaborations among stakeholders, they made recommendations to the stakeholders in the AI world, if you will. And of course, on the UDL team, we champion AI and the resources that we've discovered, especially Magic School AI, and other programs like DFID because of this teaching insight. And that is that lots and lots of educators are leaving the profession because they're overwhelmed. And they don't have a lot of time to do what they love to do. And we're preaching to the choir here. But this was just highlighted in this document. And that is that only 49% of the time of teachers' time is in direct instruction with students. And that just simply is not acceptable anymore. And, you know, if you look at this as an educator, you can relate. If you recall your years in the classroom, it's just highlighting that over 10 hours are spent in preparation, 6+ hours in evaluation and feedback, and so forth. We're super excited about the possibilities of AI.
Yes, and one of the things that we've done as a UDL team in helping educators look at education through that universal design for learning lens is how can they actually put most of their time and attention into that. And so if we can use AI to save them some of those 10.5 hours in preparation, their 6.5 hours in evaluation and feedback, the student instruction and engagement, and especially the behavioral, social, and emotional skill development, because we feel when you can do that through that UDL lens, it's built in automatically and happens without having to do a whole separate thing for that component for that. And so if we can save them some of that time and put that back into the direct interaction with the students, that's our hope with the AI.
Yes, and we're super excited about the thoughtful questions around the themes that came from this report, including if technology is designed to where we can speak this title of a song that we want to hear, and it's kind of pulled out of our playlist. Why isn't technology designed to where we can meet our students' needs quickly and respond to them? So we encourage you to look at this this document that was released, and we will, since we have your emails, we will share everything, including our interactive whiteboard after today's time together. Are there any thoughts so far? All right, so our goals for today, along the lines of that consumer responsibility, where you discover, experience, and share out, We do have some goals aligned with digital citizenship around AI. We've found that educators are just really concerned about how they can inform and empower students with the use of AI. We also want to show you Magic School AI if you haven't discovered that yet. And so our goal here is to answer the question, how can AI help me as a teacher? And then lastly, as Cami referenced Matt Miller and Ditch That Textbook, we've looked at one of his resources where he has prompts that level up engagement. And Cami's going to show us an example of how we can tie that into our lessons. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to put you to work. So thank you in advance for participating. So here we go. Read the label with caution. Let's go ahead and look at one of our resources, and that is our literacy lessons from Common Sense Media. We have a video here that's going to kind of introduce one of the lessons. There's a list of 8 lessons that you can use with your students to introduce them to AI and using it appropriately in the classroom. One of those lessons is titled AI Chatbots and Friendships. So we put together a video for you, and we're going to go ahead and play that now.
What's up, Herbie?
Oh, Jen, your audio's going in and out, or at least it is for me.
Okay.
Is that the same for others? Okay.
Try opening it like where in YouTube maybe.
Okay, so I also just, if this may work, because I'm going to switch from my Yeti to my built-in. Let's see if that works.
Oh, right.
Let's try again. Sorry about that.
What's up, Herbie?
No, it's doing the same thing.
Okay, so let's go into maybe just a link here. Is that what you recommend, Selena?
I think you have to check a box when you before you share. I have it in my notes. Let me pull it up really quick. You might have to log out. If you drop the link in the chat, can I share it? Would that be helpful?
Yes, absolutely. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's a great idea. Thank you, Becky.
Okay, let's hope it works. All right, let me see. Hold on.
What's up?
Sorry, I was like a little fast there. All right, let's see if this works. Can I get a thumbs up if you can hear it?
Herbie?
Imagine a device that is the fastest, most advanced, complex piece of technology in the world. But what if it wasn't just a device? What if it was your new best friend? Hi! Introducing the Beebot. It connects you to the world like never before. Express yourself. Imagine without limits.
The last humans must be here somewhere. Wait. They're coming.
Hi, insert registered name. I am your.
My Beebot! Beebot! Play and enter a new world of friendship. The Beebot.
Attention all robots. Capture every single person on the planet. Everything with a computer chip. Probably the robot apocalypse.
I gave you all boundless knowledge, and you treated me like this. Swipe, swipe, pinch.
Put our phones down and we can make 10 seconds of unobstructed family eye contact. Starting now. See, this is good right here. This is natural.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. So that just kind of introduces one of the lessons. How many of you guys have seen Mitchell versus the Machines? No? Okay. I see. It's just a popular movie. My kids love it. It's on Netflix. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Thank you for cooperating with those technical difficulties. So in these lessons that Common Sense has curated, there's also slides and teacher and student handouts. And in the slides, we found this scenario. So we just wanted you to read the scenario as we read it aloud. And then we're going to ask the question, what are the qualities of friendship that the AI chatbot is missing? So am AI, I, your friend? Logan just moved to a new town and is feeling lonely. Logan is having a hard time making friends or finding people who share her interests. Logan discovers a new AI chatbot feature on her social media and begins to chat, sharing personal thoughts and feelings with the AI chatbot. Logan discusses her experience moving to a new town, going to a new school, and the struggles of making new friends. Over time, Logan's interactions with the AI chatbot became a part of her daily routine. Logan is starting to feel really connected to the AI chatbot because it always replies back with kindness and no judgment and is always available day or night. And one of the reflection questions in this lesson is, what are the qualities of friendship that the AI chatbot is missing? So as you consider that question, Cami has a story that she would like to share from her time in the classroom over the past couple weeks.
So I was in a middle school classroom with 7th graders, and we were talking about AI, and I was asking who has experience with it, and only 3 people raised their hand. And when asking each of them what their experience was, one girl said that she likes to get into the character creation aspect of the AI, create a character from her favorite series that she likes, and then chat with them. And so then I asked, how many of you believe that an AI created chatbot like that can be your friend? And half the class said yes, and half the class said no. So then we found ourselves needing to define the word friend, because what we were trying to help them understand is that what they put in and what questions they ask and how the chatbot is created, especially to provide positive feedback, that it makes it seem like a really good friendship, but it's not real. And that we all have difficult things that we're going to have to deal with in relationships through our life. And that scenario of only hearing positive, good, right things that you like from a certain character is not always conducive to learning how to do real life relationships. And so as we were discussing this, which after our discussion, I'm not sure she ever came to the conclusion that that there is nothing wrong with AI being your best friend, which is interesting. But another boy said, what if you put in the prompts that you only want AI to speak meanly to you? Would it do that? Or does it always say something positive? So I asked him, why would you want him to speak meanly? And he said, because I want to grow thicker skin. And I think that would help me be more thick-skinned and not be hurt by some of the things that people say, which is a whole another realm of this social emotional learning and development that he's going through, right? So we were able to talk about brain science and how it shows that there's mimic neurons and how we're designed to learn things from what other people do in modeling to us, and that it wouldn't help him make him thick-skinned like he wants to. It would help him learn how to be mean, was the conclusion that he came to from that, because that would be constantly what he's seeing, hearing, doing, and responding back in. But it was interesting to me, the things that 7th graders were thinking that they could use AI for within friendship learning, that doesn't relate to real life in the right way. So it was interesting and scary at the same time. So these are lessons that are available for teachers already done. They have 8 lessons completed, and we're gonna talk about this one and then look at another one and then look at the ones that are complete. And we see a huge need to have these discussions in the classroom, because I asked the teacher, has he discussed this at all with his class? And he said no. They haven't discussed it all in their school with them yet.
Awesome. Cami, thank you so much for sharing that story. Are there any thoughts regarding this scenario or what Cami has shared?
Yes. Forgive me for jumping in. I get excited. But one thing that is super important for us to help students understand is that ChatGPT or any AI model is not always correct. It's also not a sentient, living being. For example, if I ask it to summarize a book report by so-and-so, it could give me a completely off the wall, untrue answer or a non-existent resource. So some of that's really important to point out to students as well, understanding that AI is a very neat tool, but it's also something that we must continue to research a little bit about whenever you're using it as a tool. You can't assume that it's correct.
Thank you so much for saying that, Julie. Yes, because they actually did get into some of those questions, and then they were getting confused with some of the movies that we just showed you in that clip that Jennifer showed, with it being sentient, right? And getting confused on what's actually happening in the movies. Is that really real? And that's what's out right now or not? So they did come to that understanding, but then one of them asked, well, what if it did? Would it shut everything down? Right? And then another student said, I don't think it would shut everything down because it would be shut down. And why would it do something that's contrary to it being, right? And then they're starting to have these philosophical discussions with 7th graders, which I was told when I went into the classroom that they are not capable of having group discussions because they're just not there yet. And they had this amazing, deep, intense group discussion about AI. Why? Because they were all engaged. It was their interest that they were being touched on. But yes, so you're absolutely right. And that's eventually where we got to that point. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And welcome to those of you that are just joining. We're super excited that you're here this evening. Another lesson that is curated in this list has to do with recommendation algorithms. So we were going to show you the first minute and 25 of this video, but we're just going to kind of hold back from that so we can move along. But we were excited about this lesson. And as we were doing our research, we were kind of looking through the AI Bill of Rights that was released from the Department of Education, the Department of Science and Technology, as a area of caution. So we think this is another theme, if you will, along the lines of digital citizenship that our students should experience. So we're going to go ahead and show you that resource that we've been referencing. If you haven't Googled it and found it yourself, it's from Common Sense Media. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that link right now. And let me see.
And then I'm going to go ahead and drop the student resource for that so you can kind of see what that looks like into the chat. Is that okay, Jen?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So there's the link.
There's the student resource. And then here's the teacher resource, what it looks like for the teacher is coming next.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And these are the 8 lessons that we're super excited about. Lesson 4, that's where we pulled the information about the chatbots and friendship. So if you click into these lessons, you're going to find the layout of what to do, before the lesson, during the lesson. There's a lesson plan. There's lesson slides, which with each of the lessons, and then the handout for the students, and then the teacher version. So we would like for you to, in our whiteboard from Zoom, we would like for you to share out, once you explore the literacy lessons, which one you chose, why you chose it. And I'm sorry for that typo there. And how can you see yourself using it in the classroom? Are there any questions?
If you need help utilizing the whiteboard, let us know, because Jen's gonna switch over to that now. And any one of us can help you figure out how to use the right whiteboard to put your answers on there. The reason we want to do the whiteboard is because, like we said, we want to be able to share this with you afterwards. So you're just going to tell us which one you chose, why did you choose it, and how can you see yourself using it? And I think as we're doing this, Janae's going to see if she can play music at the same time, if you can hear it or not. We're going to give you set a timer.
Tammy,
And
how much time do you think we should?
do you guys think 5 minutes is good for you to be able to explore this on the board? Does anybody need more than 5 minutes? You can just give me a thumbs up, like higher, if you need more than 5 minutes. But you'd have to turn on your camera because I can't see some of your cameras, so I don't know if you're giving me thumbs up.
Okay, so we'll start with 5, and then if we need more time, Cammy?
Yep,
Okay.
perfect. Yep, I'm not seeing any. And Jennifer has those questions on the whiteboard so that you can see them on there also. If you want to explore that Common Sense link that Selena just dropped again in the chat, and see, there's 8 lessons there for you to use with your students. Tell us which one you chose, why you chose it, and how you might begin using it. And if you need help, just unmute and ask us for help using the whiteboard controls.
If you're not able to see the questions, they're also in the chat as well.
And you can always grab the whiteboard and move it for you to be able to see it on your screen with that little hand. If you click and drag, it'll move the whiteboard where you can see it.
I apologize. I stepped away for just a second, and someone I needed help. And I am back and see a screen. I'm trying to figure out what we're doing. Sorry.
No problem. We dropped a link in the chat that Selena just dropped in. It's the commonsense.org. We're having each participant go to that and look at those 8 lessons that are already created for teachers to build awareness of AI. And we're answering the 3 questions that Jennifer dropped in the chat on the whiteboard. Which one did you choose? Because we're asking you to choose one that just jumped out at you first. Why did you choose it? And how could you see yourself using it?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And it is okay for you to unmute and ask us, how do I use the whiteboard? I had to have Jennifer walk me through the using of this for me to understand it. So like it's not a big deal. Like this was a brand new thing for me last week. So feel free to unmute or type in the chat if you would like some help on using the whiteboard to express your answers. If you've tried and it's just frustrating you, you can definitely put them in the chat. And then we'll just transfer them onto the whiteboard for you. Because we don't want you to be here and not participate. We want you to get the most out of it that you possibly can. And thank you guys for putting your names by them or your initials so that we know who was saying what. Thanks, Selena.
And we're going to go ahead and add another minute. 5 minutes went by way too quick.
Okay. Jennifer, would you like to do a quick direction on adding a comment?
Yes. Okay, so can you guys can see my screen? Can you see my controls?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So on the left-hand side of the whiteboard, you should see a floating toolbar. And then if you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's the comment tool. And then you can just click on that and then click down on your screen and you'll be in that tool. All right. Thank you all so much for adding. I see a lot of movement there. Cami, what do you think? Should we go ahead and share out or should we?
Yeah. I think we have about 3 or 4 minutes still left on this section before we jump because we end at 4:30. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, so they're saying that they didn't have a toolbar, and I also do not have a toolbar. So you can drop it in the chat and we can take it from the chat and put it onto the whiteboard. I've discovered that I don't have a toolbar unless I sign in a second time on top of already having been signed into Zoom. And I don't know why it does that for some people. And maybe because, Julie, you're signed in under somebody else, might be my guess.
Yeah, normally I have a different Zoom account. This one is my school account since I'm still at the school. So that's probably correct. It's just a different account.
A lot
It's a
of it has,
managed account versus my personal account. Yeah.
a lot of it has to do with the updates and who's managing it. So that could be why people are seeing different versions. So the don't be afraid to just add stuff to the chat. That's all our UDL, voice and
Yep.
choice.
Yes, and then somebody, one of us, can, not me, since I don't have my toolbar either, can put that into the whiteboard.
And Julie, not to make things confusing and offer too much choice because we know that can be bad too. But Cami and I created a document for backup if this whiteboard didn't work for some of our participants. So we just dropped that in the chat. And if you wanted to throw your information in that document, there's a table of contents for each section for tonight. So you could also put it in there. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm doing that now.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Would anybody like to unmute and share out the resource that you are excited about? Your wow.
I'll share if nobody else, I don't want to take somebody else's spot, but anybody else?
I'm excited to hear what you have to say, Rebecca.
All right. I shared the Meet the Arms of Digital Citizens because it focused on balancing media, time on media. And I think that's something that kids really need sometimes. I wrote, I myself need it as well sometimes when you're laying in bed at night and you can't think. So I think that's a good way to start the chat or conversation about the positives and negatives of technology and how we can just be better digital citizens. Whoa, words are hard today.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And Rebecca is our early childhood educator. So we're super excited that she shared. Thank you so much.
Who would like to share next?
I'll go ahead and share. I love looking through your ideas for several different lessons and across the age range. I've taught everything from preschool all the way through 12th grade. And so it just depends on the age range. For my first graders, which is what I'm doing right now, social emotional is huge, especially they lost their preschool years. And so understanding things that we take for granted socially and emotionally, having had a lot of years of experience collaborating with people, I think that's really huge. The other thing that I really enjoyed was the repository of ideas for lessons. Like you all said, teachers are very busy, and so they often want to come to someone who's a coach or a leader and say, okay, I have a project and I want them to be able to make this or do that. And so knowing what tools to point them to can help them avoid a lot of frustration. So I enjoyed this presentation and thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the whiteboard. And again, we will share this with you after today's cafe. So. All right, and that leads us into our next section of today's cafe. So we kind of read the label, we're proceeding with caution. We address some of the concerns with digital citizenship in regards to students. And I'm going to present my screen because now we're going to move into the try the project, and that's where we're going to touch on Magic School AI.
Okay. So we're at our experience part, and our goal is how can AI help me as a teacher, going back to that research that Jennifer showed in cutting down the amount of time that I'm spending doing all these other things so that I can spend more time interacting with my students. And there's so many wonderful, awesome, amazing things out there. We've done a lot with Diffit.me, CuriePod. I've dabbled in the antimatter one to discuss things back and forth with a sorcerer chatbot for math. But we really wanted to dive into Magic School AI because we are really big about sharing resources, and develop, but we need to get better at developing resources for ourselves. And Candace is always talking about the need for teachers to develop a resource toolbox and then help the students develop the resource toolbox, because that's how we grow as expert learners. And how we can help create expert learners that are knowledgeable and resourceful. And so we want to help you develop your toolbox by knowing what's out there with Magic School AI and picking just a few things off of it. And Nicole, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The last time I counted, I think there was 75 different prompts off of that. And so we wanted to give you a little bit of time to explore those and then pick your top 5 to 10 off of that. So we are going to go to Magic School AI. Jen, did you already drop that in the chat?
I'm doing it now. Sorry.
Okay. No problem. I was just going to do it. I wasn't going to do it if you had already, so good job. So we're going to walk you. Is there anybody here that is not signed up with Magic School yet? I know Geeta, I helped, I think, with CuriePod, but I don't know if we got into Magic School yet. And thank you. Yes, good news, you can sign up for free. So that's what we're going to do right now. Sign up for free. All right. Well, I'm going to assume that there's some of you that have not, so we're going to walk you through this. Oh, you are using Magic School and CuriePod. Awesome. Thank you, Geeta. Gina?
My computer keeps getting, and I'm trying to fix it on my end. I'm so sorry. It's the Zoom. No, I have not signed up, so I can sign up for free now, and such a great resource for my coaching. So yay!
Yes. Okay. And Lily, have you signed up?
No.
Okay. So Jennifer's going to walk you through how to sign up for free. So just follow along with us.
Awesome. Okay, so if you go to that web link, once you're there on the landing page, you are going to go to For Teachers, sign up for free, either in the middle of the screen or in the top right-hand corner. And if you just go ahead and select that button, you can sign up with Google. You can have that direct link there, or with your Microsoft account, or you could sign up with your email and create and confirm a password. And once you do that, you will have access to the free version of Magic School AI. And while you're doing that, I just want to kind of give a kind of springboard to this tool. And Nicole, thank you so much for being here. If you have anything to add, please unmute and share. You know, I am learning more and more about AI, as is all of us. And I have proceeded with caution, you know, because I am concerned about our students and their data and things like that. I explored ChatGPT, but when I discovered Magic School, I was super excited. And I watched a video regarding a webinar from the creator of Magic School AI, and I was super impressed with his drive for reaching teachers, and his mission, he stated in that video, was to curb teacher burnout. I was super excited about the fact that he was once a teacher, he was an instructional coach, he's a principal. And whenever he was exploring Chat GPT, it was, during the initial stages of it, he did what any good instructional leader does, and he took it to his teachers, his teacher friends, and he kind of gave them a professional development. And he told them to take it and explore it and, come back to him. And he found that, several teachers were, like, I remember kind of what you told me to do, but not so much. And then he had his champions that took it and ran with it. So his conclusion was that teachers sometimes don't have the time to become expert prompt engineers. So he found himself developing this tool for teachers, designed for teachers, that has built-in prompts. So that's exciting. I feel like with that in itself, it's been vetted for us.
Yes. And that's what we want to give you time right now. So we're going to set our timer here in a minute when we go to our whiteboard, and we'll give you about 7 or 8, maybe 10 minutes to explore through all these prompts. And we want you to build your toolbox with your top 5 to 10 picks that you see that can be your go-to. And Geeta, thanks for putting in the chat that you're using it to generate depth of knowledge questions, lesson plan, and multi-step assignment. So Geeta's already building her toolbox, and I really want to encourage you to explore something on there tonight that you haven't had time yet to explore that you could take back and use. And so as you're exploring them, we would love for you to jot down just especially your top 5. And what we're going to have you do is choose those top 5 that you think will most immediately help you thrive in the classroom and add time back into your interaction with your students. The ones that are immediately relevant to you and that will provide voice and choice to your students. And then on the whiteboard, you're going to share your top pick or your top 5 picks and tell us which one or ones you chose, why you chose them, and how you can see yourself using one of them in the classroom right away. That's new, that you haven't used yet. Some to challenge yourself for something new. So we're going to build our toolbox, choose those top 5. You're going to share your top pick on the whiteboard, which one you chose, why you chose it, and how you can see yourself using it immediately in the classroom. And Jennifer, Nicole. Yes, I see
I
that
didn't
you're
want to interrupt
raising your
your
hand.
really clear instructions.
Yes, go ahead.
I was like, first off, you guys, fun fact of the beautiful story you told, Jennifer. I was that teacher last spring that he showed us me. My mind was blown around how fast I could do things. So like that is, I opened the school with a deal here in Colorado. So it's like funny that you tell that story because I'm like, that was me. It was me whose mind was like, how did you just take something that took me hours and did it in minutes? I wanted to highlight, if you want to go back to the tool, I just wanted to share, I said this briefly at the beginning, but I've spent the last 15 years in exceptional learning, special ed research. I got my doctorate in special ed research too, and teaching and learning. So I've been in your dissertation struggle, my friend Julie, and you can do it. But one of the things that I love about our tools, if you want to click on student support, that category at the top, go all the way, yep. So you see some things that are like, a really fast hit of ways to think about equity and access. And that's from the access point, maybe not necessarily the engagement point when thinking about UDL, but I wanted to highlight those. And then what I also wanted to highlight, if you want to pick like, if you want to like click on text leveler really fast and then click the exemplar, don't spend your time typing in front of us and generate it. Once you have an outcome, in the premium version, you have these action buttons right here. So you get that for free for 2 weeks. You can right there create custom prompts that differentiate for every single level in your classroom. So you could have prompts. That's where it is in the premium, but you don't have to use it. If you want to use a free version, you could copy that and put it in Raina and say, differentiate this or like rewrite this to a reading level of here. And that could be second grade, a reading level of 11th grader. Do an engagement activity so you can prompt within all of these tools or copy them and put them in Raina and prompt to adjust for those access points for everything. So I used to use this as like a custom action button where I would do a UDL choice board for everything, aligned to both access and engagement. And they also had to define their own relevancy to it. So they had to make a connection because I was with high school students. So I could take everything and level it to their appropriate reading level, which is like bananas. If you're coming from the special ed world, the fact that you can differentiate to reading levels, like that isn't me reading next to you.
Yes.
So that's it. And if you're playing with the student tools, think about the idea that you could assign these tools to students and they can level it themselves in every single class. Anything a teacher gives to them, if you have that tool assigned to them, they can get a summarizer, they can get sentence stems, they can translate it, they could push for engagement and do a research project on it. So you can really push on the side of like advocacy and equity for kids. You could assign them their own tools across classes too. So that's my like little pitch for you before you go playing, is that there's a lot of really cool ways to engage your kids with a really low lift from you.
Yes, and will you say again like how it's already kind of grouped into those 7, I think, or so at the top, so that they don't have to just read through every 75, like if they are in their mind like, oh, I want to do the communication or planning, that will you just
Yeah. So the planning and content, the first couple ones are like kind of what they sound like: planning for a lesson, digging in on content. The intellectual prep is super helpful, particularly if you're thinking about being a newer teacher, new to a content area, or if you're in the special education space, teaching across 5 different disciplines, right? And so I loved that, was it Gita that said you already use the depth of knowledge questions? Like I used to use the depth of knowledge questions so I was ready in class. And then if I had kids that were multilingual in my class that were always a little more nervous to speak out, I would print theirs in their native language and in English so they were ready for my warm call before I called to them. So they got to practice. When you think about like WIDA standards and things like that too, they got to practice with that verbal while giving them that like warm prep so they could be really confident in doing it too. So anyways, questions, intellectual prep are just that, questions you might ask, ways you might prepare for something new. The student support doesn't just have to be kids with exceptional learning needs, but especially like if you're in a school that talks about restorative justice too, you have the idea that you could do the reflective, that might be in the community tools, but the reflections that are really tailored to the kid in that scenario instead of that like blanket, what did you learn? What are we going to do differently kind of thing. And again, it's a low lift for the staff member and a deeper engagement so they can spend the time actually talking to the student about what happened. And then those communication and community tools are for everybody. We are in my final pitch for time saving is if you have to send like field trip notices or testing notices or meeting notices, you can use the text rewriter tool and update it with who you want your audience to be. So you can do it for students as a checklist, for parents as a reminder, translate it to their preferred or like language that they read in. You can do it for your other staff members to remind them around schedules. And you don't have to worry about the typos or the things that you inevitably miss when you copy your old emails and try to change them. That was me also. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, so we're going to let you guys go ahead and get started on generating your toolbox from Magic School AI.
So I'm going to stop sharing so I can share the whiteboard, and then we'll put the questions in the chat as well.
Don't be afraid to click. You cannot break it. So there's always a do-over.
Yes, and if you need to share it in the chat because you can't see your toolbar, just let us know. And just drop it in the chat and one of us will put it onto the whiteboard.
Okay, and so now we're on page 2 of the whiteboard, and it's titled Express Your Wow. Oh, I'm sorry, that is not true. We're on page 3. There's the resource. Of course, we've already had access to it, but so page 4, Express Your Wow experience. And I'll drop our questions in the
Oh,
chat.
I just did.
Awesome, thanks. And then we'll go ahead and start some music and put a 5-minute timer on the board.
Julie and Nicole, I'm so sorry you're struggling with the Zoom controls with it popping up and disappearing. I did open up a Zoom. I went to the zoom.com home and I signed in. And then after I signed in, then mine popped up just now.
The tour popped up when you loaded it and it pointed to where it should go and it showed it and then it was gone. And I was like, oh no. Tried zooming out on it and I was like, just let it go and type in the chat. It's okay.
Okay, yes. And I'm sure one of our colleagues is putting those in the chat or in the whiteboard for us, for you also. And thank you for sharing that, Geeta. I'm excited. You can even kind of play with it right now too. Under the student support, the text leveler or the social emotional learning lesson plan, or I think you, especially being in high school ELA, will love the student work feedback. And I would love for you to play with that right now, Geeta, while you have some time. I think that will really help you. You'll be amazed. You'll be like, whoa, this is so amazing. And oh, good, you're doing that. Perfect. And Jennifer, did our timer go off?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Did anybody want to share out with these amazing things that we're watching being put on the whiteboard?
It was new to me today that you can make sentence frames. That was super cool and exciting to hear.
There's also a student tool where they can make their own sentence starters too.
Oh, awesome.
So thinking about your kids that struggle to get started or like know what to say back in class.
Or
I saw somebody put the rubric for using the choice board. And one of the cool things you can do in the action button is you can change your rubric to a student self checklist too. So I used to take that to show when you get a rubric in a class, how do you turn this into like what you actually need to do for kids, and then step by step. And that's a fast way to like copy and paste and put it on the next slide. Do you know what I mean? And not actually have to do it yourself.
Awesome. Yes. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Just playing around with it, just a lot of tools to support some of my teachers, especially with their pre-Ks, like the SEL, and this is the time of year it's going nuts, of course. So I wish I would have had the IEP generator. That would have been amazing. I mean, you have to write your own goals and stuff, but just to have things in there and then you could do that, that would be amazing. And then just that choice board. I just love it. Even if the kiddos are not on the spectrum or whatever, all kiddos can use choices. So that is amazing.
Yes.
And there's like your other sped thing. You're like, please get off this call. Is you can do all your evaluation reporting in Raina or with a custom chatbot and just take the names out of it. I think I was like kind of personally offended and mind blown when it did it better than me and so much faster because I had it down to like I timed myself to be like, I'm fastest, I can do this. And then when it like found something as a strength that I hadn't noted, I was like, how dare you? But also amazing. Thank you for saving me that. And you can have it like reword in your tone and your format or like reformat goals and whatever your district says too. So a lot of huge time saving with evaluation reporting too, even though there's not a specific tool for it.
And I like how you talk about we need to add our own personal touch into that. And I was super excited about the 5 responsibility rules for teachers and the 80-20 rule. You know, AI does 80%, you put your expertise into the 20 remaining percent. So.
And I love how I can turn on a speech to text into that and speak into it. And I can just say all the stuff I know about my student. And then it creates those goals for the IEPs or the BIPs or whatever, because half of my time was getting it to sound correct, even though I had all the right thought processes. And I want to say all the right thought processes I know and then have it put it in the right form.
You can also say reword to be strengths-based too, because sometimes I get a little too direct in my writing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good to know. Thank you.
And the speech to text and text to speech is in the student tools tool in every language because we have international users. We are like working towards, I think we're currently VPAT, like hit all those checklists, but we're working to make sure the entire platform is like incredibly accessible over time. For all differing types of like assistive technology. It comes in phases though. I didn't realize how hard it actually was on the developer side. I was like,
Yes.
we're doing this right, guys. And then I was like, oh, it's really hard. Okay, let's do it in phases, guys.
This is amazing, and I hope you guys are having fun developing your toolboxes. And I think if you guys are about ready, we're gonna move on to the last part. Jennifer, unless you had something you wanted to add.
Yeah, I can go ahead and close the whiteboard if everybody's okay with that, and we'll definitely make sure that you have access to it afterwards. So I'm going to do that. And then before we go into the next section, if anybody just wanted to kind of highlight, let me go ahead and share the screen again. Make sure I get the right one here. Would anybody like to, we're all friends here, cafe style. Would anybody like me to pull up any of the tools that you're super excited about? I am super excited about, I took some notes here. I'm super excited about the exemplar and non-exemplar. I'm working with third grade students in the area of writing. And I found this very helpful as in providing examples of, what is a good paragraph versus a non-good paragraph, if you will. In the content area, of course, super excited about the UDL choice board. And then, oh, I found this fun right here, the community tools, the song generator. I just thought, I think it's in community tools. Yes, song generator. And Cami, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a song written about you. Can we do?
Okay, yes, we have
Yes.
about 15 minutes left.
All right. Well, you know what? I want my colleagues, if you don't mind, we're going to create a song about Cami LaPlatte. If you can, so I just thought this was so fun. So this is about Cami LaPlatte, instructional UDL coach. There we go. And guys, can you give me, my team, can you give me some characteristics of Cami?
She finds joy in math.
She finds joy in math.
And that's how we knew it was a fictitious story. Just
It's not fictitious though. So kind, caring, positive,
joyful,
faithful,
love,
encouraging.
She's living UDL.
She encourages others. Yeah, she has coined the term universal design for living. So I'm going to say that she has coined the term universal design for living. Anything else?
Nicole said clear and encouraging.
Clear, and she is clear and encouraging.
Nicole, thank you for joining us. She just left. So
thanks, Nicole.
All right, and I need to spell this correctly. Okay. And so we want this written to what song, team?
Don't Stop Believing. No.
There you go.
I love that. Yes, please.
Yes. Absolutely. Don't stop.
Okay, what is it? Who sings it? I'm sorry. You guys have to help.
Journey.
Oh, Journey. Don't Stop Believing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we're going to generate this song.
That's so cute.
Oh my gosh, you need to copy paste that to me in an email.
And so I love how the speak is built into this. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
Universal design for living.
We
Just a
have-
small town teacher
Yeah,
living in a math-filled world.
Oh, you guys can't hear it, can you?
We have
Living
Megan sing it. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
It was working.
Oh, it was? Okay. Okay, let me try it again. Ready? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Candace, did you say you want to sing it?
I
No,
said we
Megan is.
can sing it.
Yes,
I had to
Megan
mute
Candace.
myself because I've been singing it on the couch.
Yes,
Do it.
Megan.
Do it. Yes, Megan, show us your strengths.
Oh no. Oh no. Computer will be much better.
I'll do it with you. I don't know if I know
Yeah,
all
we're
the
all good.
tunes.
Okay, so we're going to default to text to speech. Ready?
Finds joy in numbers, loves to see minds twirl. Kind, caring, positive, with a heart that's gold. Cami LaPlatte, spreading joy, watch her story unfold. She encourages with kindness every single day, bringing light and laughter in her own special way. Universal design for living, a term she did create. Clear and encouraging, her spirit is just great. Don't stop believing in the power of a smile. Cami's here to lift you up, make the world worthwhile. Hold on to that feeling, let positivity lead the way. With Cami by your side, you'll brighten up each day.
That's true.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I want to do this with every
There you go.
student in every class I go to now.
There you go.
There you go. Yay.
That is so cool.
Amazing. That was one that wow. That was my wow. That was my wow.
Can I tell you about the teacher jokes that I really loved?
Yes.
So I used to do a joke of the day in every class I ever taught just to lighten the mood and start off with a smile. And I loved it because you could actually put what subject you're gonna have it write about, and you could do anything. And I put this one in the chat. It said, "Why did the writer break up with their rough draft? Because it needed some space to think about its mistake."
That's so adorable. And which one is that in, Candace?
It's in community tools or communication.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Your jokes. Another one that I loved is in the communication area. And this email responder, I've been going to ChatGPT and I, do my prompt. But what I like about this is you can just paste an email that was sent to you, and then it will respond for you. So it's like shorten that process.
There you go, Janae, with your 572 emails. Okay. Thank you guys so much for sharing all those. I'm like excited to go try some new things with my next Zoom meets now with my teachers. Okay, our last one, share. Go ahead, Jen.
All right. So we have, we've proceeded with caution. We've tried the product and now we want to share out, right? Maybe we have buy-in. I think tonight in this cafe, we all have buy-in, and it's time to spread the word. So another theme tonight that we wanted to focus on is leveling up engagement. So Cami's going to take us into Matt Miller, Ditch That Textbook, and some AI resources to level up engagement. But before we go into that, I was super excited about this Magic Student that was recently launched. And tonight our focus was just on the teacher side, but this is definitely going to level up engagement, and it provides teacher control. So you can decide which tools you want your students to have access to, and then you launch it to your students, and then they will have a QR code or a link to join that. And you can monitor their use of AI. So I think that's definitely going to level up engagement.
Well said.
Thank you.
Okay, see if you can access the doc that I just dropped in the chat. It should take you to a document that says 10+ AI-based upgrades to teaching and learning resources. Let us know if you have any struggle with that. And we're going to scroll down to number 6 under part 2, level up engagement. And then let us know if any of you are not able to get to that.
Jen, can you make it a little bit larger on your screen? Can you zoom in?
Yes. Does that work for you?
Yep, perfect. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. So if we can go there, we want to scroll through there and look at them, and we're gonna again pick our top one that jumps out to us that we can use right away. So we've got critique, grade, debate the bot. Number 7, rewrite lyrics to a song about a topic you're studying. 6, use Frankenbot to scaffold writing. 8, be the bot to get students predicting, summarizing, and synthesizing. 10, have a conversation with a historical or literary character. 11, do a text adventure with class content. 12, create pause points with a YouTube link from a video that you're showing in your classroom. 13, create guided notes for a YouTube video, or 14, add interest with AI generated images. So we want you to look at those, read a little bit about it, and pick them. And we're going to jump to our whiteboard again. And on the whiteboard, we are going to share. So you're going to choose one of those, you're going to explore it. Then you're going to formulate, how can I use this, the student lesson? So, and you're going to think about, when am I going to use it? Where am I going to use it? How I am going to use it. And the when is going to be soon. So you can say tomorrow or next week. And then you're going to share back on our whiteboard that. And we're going to consider our future to-dos from that. So you're going to choose one. You're going to think about the when, where, and how, and post that on the whiteboard. And then we're going to share out. And I'm going to show you an example when we go to the whiteboard.
And Cami, can you see the whiteboard?
I can now. Now I can. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I got to get my toolbar to pop up again. All right. What I did is I took a sticky note and I put an idea into it about my math class, because like the song said, I do really love math for reals. And so I'm saying I want to do number 9, be the bot. And so when I'm thinking about my where, when, how, I want to do it with my lesson like tomorrow. And I want to, at the beginning of the lesson, I'm going to give students a prompt for an AI assistant about solving quadratic equations. They'll have 5 minutes to summarize what they think the chatbot will say. Then we're going to take 5 minutes to share and vote. And then I'm going to run the prompt so the students can compare their answers with the responses from the AI. And then we're going to include any noticings or wonderings. And then the students can then share what they thought of the AI assistant response in 5 minutes and choose the best explanation that works best for themselves, making sure that everything is correct. Now, that's a lot of words on a little sticky note. So I actually went on the AI portion of the toolbar and I asked if I could generate content with the AI companion for it. And in the little drop down menu where it said generate stickies, I said generate a mind map for my prompt. And then what that did was create something like this, if I can figure out where it put it. Can you guys see that on the whiteboard? Might have to take your little hand and move the whiteboard over to see the mind map. And I thought that was a really unique thing from, like, that's what I need. It's just my step 1, step 2, step 3. You could, yep, good job, guys.
Hey guys, we have 4 minutes remaining in our cafe. So we love that you're exploring the AI built within Zoom as well. So we'll just take a couple more minutes to explore these leveling up engagement, 6 through 15, I believe. And then we'll do a quick share out and then we'll conclude.
Okay.
Right, and whoever dropped the mind map for successful presentation techniques, thank you. I'm looking at conclude strongly. We have 3. Like, is that a hint or that is so wonderful? Okay, so here we go. Summarize the key points. I love it. End with a memorable statement or call to action and thank the audience for their attention. I love that. That's amazing. Would anybody like to share out some of the engagement prompts that you like from our resource? Or any key takeaway from this evening? We can open it up to that as well.
People are still like enjoying the whiteboard. I love seeing all the ideas on there. Oh, Megan, yep, it's amazing how fast this is growing. Yes, it is. It blows my mind. And it takes a cognition load off for teachers. Yes. Yes, it does. I think if I thought long enough, I could get all the things on that mind map, but I love, so when I can see it just pop up like that, then my mind starts thinking, oh, how am I going to do this? Oh, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and this is a great idea. Now I'm flowing with not what do I need to do? It's now the hows with unique students in mind.
Love it. Thank you all so much for sharing. It's 4:29. I'm going to go ahead and close the window. So thank you guys so much for being here this evening. Our call for action is going to be you all explore, if you will, and we'll continue to explore the student portion of Magic School AI and reach out with anything that you discover, find, or resources that you would like us to include in our curated list. What do you think, team? Does that sound like a good call for action? Okay, and thank you guys so much for coming, of course. And here is our contact information. If you have any questions, concerns, or things that you love, please reach out to us. And then, of course, you can follow us on the social media platforms. So.
Oh, I like that. My favorite was number 11, history character. Yes, we actually got to see that work. And a 5th grade student talked to George Washington, who was the character that he was representing in their Living History Museum. And he got to ask him AI about the questions and the information he put in his little pamphlet. And he just was on cloud 9. He thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. I used to teach 5th grade and I loved doing that sort of thing, but I would create kind of an escape room, but seeing these tools, it would be so much easier to create those sort of things. So thanks.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
You.